Good afternoon, everyone. Hey, this is Bruce Marshall from Simpler Trading with the nightly video update for Wednesday, October the 14th. And this has been a crazy time the last week or so. We've had a kind of a switch back here lately in the market for various reasons. We'll go into it in just a second, but let's first start. You guys know I like to focus primarily on the S&P because that gives us the best representation of the overall market. So let's jump in here on a daily chart and look at the SPX. And today we came out of the gate, we were just going higher, following this nice move up, continuation, and then it failed and tried to regain its breath and catch its breath here, and then we just rolled over and failed. This was because stimulus talks breaking down. Is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? If you guys remember in last week's video, I titled it Deal or No Deal, kind of based on this, the premium video, and I was kind of, it's kind of still the same thing. We had everyone kind of waiting to see if a stimulus deal, both sides want to get something done, we just can't agree with the number, and we can't agree with what all needs to be in the COVID relief and all that kind of stuff. So who knows if we're going to get anything done before the election. I know both sides actually want to get something done, if only for political reasons. Both sides want to get stuff done. So I think we probably will have something in the next couple of weeks. So everything, honestly, right now, everything is hinging on stimulus package passing or some variation of it, and it's also hinging on coronavirus vaccine or hope of vaccine. We had Johnson & Johnson came out today and said that, I believe it was today, and said that they were suspending some clinical trials because some complications that a couple patients had or something. That'll continue to be, very headline, market-moving kind of news. And then, of course, we have the election coming up as well. But also, overlay on top of that, we have earnings season. And so far, we just kicked off this week. The big banks reporting. They usually start the earnings season off, and so far it's a real mixed bag. So can't read too much into that yet, but what we will look forward to is Amazon and Tesla and Apple and all of the the big names that are going to report in the next couple of weeks. So again, let's jump back over to the S&P and look, and we'll kind of dissect this and see what we can come up with. So if you are familiar with Voodoo lines, this is a skyline right here. This is a skyline here. Today, again, we're all over this, came back, failed, came down. We didn't quite get to the support down here on the lower end. And notice this level here, 3480, which I had an ES level there. This is SPX, but we rallied off this into this mogul, failed, rallied, got through that mogul, failed again, rallied, got through it again, failed again. So that is a whole lot of nothing as far as giving us any indication. Now that level did hold, which is good, and I was thinking that we might come down here and hit this skyline. I suspect that skyline would hold. I think we did not hit it there, we did not hit it here, we did not hit it here. All those are good. And let me back this thing out a little bit and give you kind of a different perspective. So that's a 1-day chart. This is a 5-day chart here, going back to last Friday. So we were ripping higher, everything's great, really ripping, and we get to 35.49.85, so essentially 3,500. SPX, the all-time high, is 35.88. So we're 38 points away from all-time high, and we break down. And this kind of, we know it's news driven, but at the same time, I really thought we'd reach up there and tag it easily. So this doesn't mean everything's broken. It just means that we're having a temporary pullback with the focus, to me, on this skyline here. If we come down, again, there's a better picture of it there. We did not hit it. Hopefully this holds, and when we go higher. Again, a lot will depend on earnings that come out tomorrow and the latest on what's going on with stimulus and all that kind of stuff, because I did see something, Kudlow was coming out on CNBC saying, talks aren't dead yet and all that kind of stuff. So no telling what we'll get overnight. But let me back this out even further, and I'll show you kind of why this is important. Let me go to 1-year chart. And I showed you guys this last time in last week's video. And if we notice here, the green line is a tree line right here, and this was the all-time high before COVID, and then COVID happened and we came down here to this tree line, and of course we rallied all the way back up. Alright, so again, all-time high here, 3588. Again, we were 12 points shy of 3600 here. Failed, came down into the snow line here, and we're just ripping back up. Now I had been saying, again from last week's video, I said we're at a very kind of critical point here. Let me kind of expand this. And what I was looking at, I'm just drilling down into the time frame, or a smaller time frame here. So there's all-time high. It makes sense. We were ripping here, went right through that skyline, right through skyline. All we have to do is reach up and tag that. We're literally 38 points away from, from the all-time high there at that snow line, and we failed. But what I want you to notice is that, and this is going to be very crude, so your technical guys don't laugh at me, but if you look on a trend line here, we're still making our way up, and this is just pulling back into the mean, the average pullback here, maybe, again, I don't have this drawn exactly, but you get the point that we should continue to work our way up here. There's all-time high, and I think probably take it out with some good news, assuming we get movement on some vaccine or good earnings, good news on stimulus package, movement towards some positive thing there. We should go higher here. Now if we break this trend, and take that skyline out and go this way, that's a different story. That actually changes that could change the whole magnitude to something more along the lines of that, direct 180. At the moment I don't think that's going to happen. Again, let me zoom in a little bit closer, and you can see we came right down to it. We actually did not touch it because we looked at it on a 1-day chart. We're not quite there, but tomorrow, next couple of days, if this holds and we do continue to move higher, that will make me feel better. But as always, nothing moves in a straight line. We go 2 steps forward and 1 step back, and 2 steps forward, 1 step back, that kind of thing, as we make our way up. And again, all this is hypersensitive or driven on news, so all we can do is wait. I continue to be very light on my positions, taking profit when I get it, and waiting for opportunities, because we will have a lot of opportunities. We should have, as we get closer to the election, and then especially after the election. So keep a lot of cash and keep real tight stops on things, and be ready. Anytime you have earnings season, it's always whipsaws and no telling which way we go and all that kind of stuff. But especially this time, because we've got earnings. We've got election tension on top of that. So be careful next couple of weeks. Use the volatility to your advantage. The VIX is up around 26 now, pretty elevated, but use that to your advantage if you are selling premium and all that kind of stuff, or using different type trades that use volatility. Use it to your advantage, but again, be very selective on your trades, and know your risk parameters on the trades and watch them very closely. So that's what I've got for you tonight. Hope this helps, makes sense, and I'll see you guys at the next update. Thanks for the time.